Okay, another thing that we need to do is before we can start the database, we have to create a graph, a template, as you might say, to guide us how to create the database. So we need to create the ERDs. So what is an ERD? It's an entity relation diagram, and it's going to show the relationship between each entity, meaning each table. So here I have one example, and it calls CO is a company ABC and has three tables: clients, the orders, and the billing. So how, looking at this, we'll create a ERD. So let's go and close this up. So the first thing, we're going to use Visio. If you don't have Visio at home, the school has Visio from Microsoft. You have many open sources design graphic diagrams that you can use. I'll give you the links to it, and you can use those. So I'm gonna just open Visio. It'll take a few seconds. And in Visio, I'm gonna select software. Here in software, I'm gonna go a little down to crow's foot data notation, and I'm gonna select that. I'm gonna make sure that I have US unit selected, and I'm gonna click create. All right. So here is a little slow because I'm in a virtual machine. So here we can open this a little bit. You can open and close the working area. Excuse me, by using this bar in the bottom. And okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go here from my typing tool right here. It's a text, and I'm going to put the name of my database, and the name of my database is CO, and the name of the company is ABC. All right, good. So in order to add the tables to my database, I had to move back to the pointer. So this white arrow is the pointer. So I have, allows me to move things here in the page. So here, then I have my name, and if you move it here, you can see it bigger and smaller. I need smaller because unfortunately my screen is really small. Okay, so that's the title of the database. So now looking at this, looking at the picture, it is open here. We had three tables. So my company has clients, we process orders, and you have the billing. So let's go start with clients. So I need to create an entity. And what is an entity? It's just a table. So here's my first entity. So I drag it when selected in here in the pointer tool. I'm going to select the name. Here selected. And I'm going to go to my typing tool so I can change this to what is the name of the company? Then the table clients, right? And I'm sorry, I'm going to use clients, all caps, just to represent that's the name of the table. All right, so I'm going back to my tool here. I'm going to grab another one, right? This time this one is going to be, I believe, is orders. So here, orders. My cap locks is not working. So orders. All right. So there you go. So I have another table, and by looking at my diagram here, I know that I have one more entity that's billings because my company has the clients, process orders, and send bills, creates bills, right? So I'm going to put one more here in the middle. And this time I'm going to call this one bills. So there you go. So here we have three entities. We're not going to connect them yet, so I will do that in the future. But here is my tables, and then you have to put, based on this, the description here, all the attributes to your tables, right? So, all right, so in order to change this, it's the same way. So the first one is client ID. Client, did I spell correct? Client ID. We can even put a little underscore so we can see. Here is, so in the client ID, when we started to put all the attributes for that particular entity or table, we see a little um, blue squares saying PK. So why the client ID has that square? Well, the client ID in this case will be the unique identifier or the primary key for the table. So when you want to locate all the attributes for that entity, you can use the client ID to find that properties. So that's why we need to assign a unique identifier that's going to identify the table in order to access it. All right. So that's the same thing you're going to do with orders and bills. All right. And the second, I'm just not going to do all of them, but the second one will be uh, client client first first name. All right. So we're gonna need the first name, last name, address, phone, email, and so on and so on. So once I have finished everything, we're not gonna connect this yet. We're gonna talk about primary keys and foreign keys in week 2. But once I have connected this, or I have finished to input all my information, in order to save, I'm gonna go File, File, Save As, and I want to make sure that I save this. I'm sorry, it's going to take a little while because I am in my, oh my god, I am in my virtual machine. So I'm just going to save this to this folder. However, instead to save is a Visio drawing, since I might not have it in my other computer, I'm going to save this as a PDF. So I'm going to change the name of this to company underscore ABC, right? And save. So that's the way you save this drawing. All right. So that's it.